On Tuesday, Chicago Mayor Rahm Emanuel announced a package of reparations to victims of former Chicago police commander John Burge, who, well, these things occurred from the early 1970s to the 1990s. The $5 million is going to be spread out mostly to blacks who can prove that they were victims of his abuse. Now, the news in my mind is a glimpse of really much bigger news that's going to come from the White House. I'm saying next year I'm leaning toward, I think there's going to, be an official apology from the White House for slavery in America, and then there's going to be a major push to get cash, and I'm talking lots of cash. Ever since General William Sherman's special field order on January 16, 1865, of 40 acres and a mule to the blacks at Sea Island, Georgia, it has been a promise, well, it's been seen as a promise by the federal government that's never been fulfilled. Many, including those closest to President Obama, will push him to make this happen, and they're going to say, by the way, it wouldn't be the first time America has paid out a lot of money in reparations for the wrongs that they did to other people.
Contemporary police killings and the trauma it creates are reminiscent of the racial terror lynching of the past. Impunity for state violence has resulted in the current human rights crisis and must be addressed as a matter of urgency. Racial bias and disparities in the criminal justice system, mass incarceration, and the thought on crimes policy has disproportionately impacted African Americans. Mandatory minimum sentencing, disproportionate punishment of African Americans, including the death penalty, are of grave concern. There is a profound need to acknowledge that the transatlantic slave trade was a crime against humanity, and among the major sources and manifestations of racism, racial discrimination, xenophobia, and related intolerance, and that Africans and people of African descent were victims of this act, continue to be victims of their consequences. Past injustice and crimes against African Americans need to be addressed with reparatory justice. The working group urges Congress to expedite the passing of all pending criminal justice reform bills, including the End Racial Profiling Act, the Second Chance Reauthorization Act, and welcomes the bipartisan support for the Sentencing Reform and Correction Act, with, among other things, proposed to drastically reduce the use of mandatory minimum sentencing.